Hi everybody, welcome to Big Fish, Little Fish, wicked weekend of harness racing coming up. Craig Thompson, good morning. And this afternoon we have a meeting which has been saved by those in Southland Harness. 3 of their big features coming up, races we thought, because of COVID, back around March and April, we may have lost.
Yeah, good morning to you, Michael. It's a tremendous day. It is their major day of the year. I mean, 2 Group 3s and, of course, the Southland Oaks. And they've attracted really good fields. A lot of these horses have stayed on longer than they may have normal, Michael. And good to see some Canterbury visitors heading south. Robert Dunn sent a few down. So looking forward to what I think is going to be a really good program, a really good betting card on the day. Really keen on a few today.
Okay, let's talk about the big races. I thought Stylish Memphis would win the Southland Oaks. She was in a very strong open class type field last time, but it's no pushover. I just thought the barrier draw made her the filly/mare to beat.
Yeah, I think so, Michael. I mean, you take her run in the non-tote 3 days ago with Amazing Dream, and you put that comparable to the run that Need You Now had against Amazing Dream, and they're pretty similar runs. So I think the barrier draw is probably in her favour. They're both being beaten by a very, very good horse who is obviously at the top of the pecking order at the moment. But it's a good field, Michael. I think Stylish Memphis, $1.75. I think she'll run through most people's multis, and I think that's probably a fair price. Need You Now, pull up blinds, go on, sharpen her up a bit, 360. I think she's the obvious danger, but it is a good field. It adds a lot of interest with the likes of Pearl Harbor and Watch Me Now. In any other race, they're a dominant favourite, but they're not in this.
What about the 3-year-old boys? Really interesting race because Dashing Major was your big tip a couple of weeks ago to be one of the better maidens coming out of Canterbury. Excellent in a sire stakes race. Then not so good next time. I thought he was a bit flat after the first run. He's got barrier 1 today, but I'm not sure he's got much gate speed.
No, really worried about his gate speed here, Michael. I did say to you on Big Fish, Little Fish about 3 weeks ago, the best maiden in the South Island, the Deep South, is Regazzo Mac. I can tell you I haven't changed my mind, and I think he'll go very close to winning this today. He's a very, very good horse. Really impressed me again after that win back at the trials, beating some nice horses and running away from them. Sectionally wise, I think he's up to the best of them down there. So I think even from barrier 4, I think he can beat the favourite here, Michael. So I'll tip him against Dashing Major, and I think there's not a lot much between them, but maybe just a little bit more speed with the Nathan Williamson run.
Yep, I agree. I think Dashing Major, if he leads from barrier 1's clearly the one to beat, but I'm just not sure he can do that. And I'm not sure he's a horse who just yet is going to be ready to come off their backs and beat them. The other feature race of the day, I thought it was more or less a 2-horse race, whereas I'm going to go Spirit of St. Louis. I've got a funny feeling he might go the other way.
Well, mate, I think he's the best of the day. I think at $1.80, I think Pembroke's Playboy is an absolute standout. The reason I say that is I know he's better drawn Spirit of St. Louis, but Pembroke Playboy's only one on the second row. And it is 2,700 metres. You go back to that when they met 2 starts ago. Pembroke Playboy sat parked out the entire trip. Spirit of St. Louis was on his back and couldn't get near him. I think Pembroke Playboy has improved since then, and I'm not sure if Spirit of St. Louis has. I know he's good in the Tour Picker Cup. I probably was a shade disappointed. Thought Robbins Playboy clearly appointed him there. I'm just wondering, he's heading towards a junior free-for-all, Pembroke Playboy, and I see he's a pretty short favourite for that, Michael. So I think he's probably got a couple of long-term aims over Cup Week. I think he's a seriously good horse, and I wouldn't say he's out of place in a New Zealand Cup this year. I wouldn't say he'd beat them, but I tell you what, he'd beat more than beat him home.
Okay, the other 3 features for the day, and as I said, well done to Southland Harness getting those races back up when we thought we might lose them all. What else do you like on the card?
I think it's a good bet in race number 2, a horse called Tac Mac. It ran into Regazzo Mac first up. That's never easy when you're chasing a good maiden like that. But I thought she was very good. And since then, she's been back at the trials and won very nicely, home in 56 seconds. She's got a lovely draw, barrier 3. So I thought she looked to stand out at 240 in race number 2 and won a little bit of value in the last. I thought a really nice each-way bet was a horse called One Smart Fella. Same stable as Tac Mac and Brent Shirley. It ran in that race that Delightful Act won, Michael, and of course Pearl Harbor ran second. They went 2:54 a mile and a half round there. He was actually not well rated in that race. He's much better rated in this one. So I thought it around about $6 each way play in the last.
It's going to be a fun twilight meeting there today. First race goes at 2:48. Bet responsibly if you're having a bet. We'll be back tomorrow where there's racing at Methven, but Big Fish, Little Fish will be concentrating on the Group 1 night coming out of Alexandria.